Newsline with Faraz Shaukat Ali.
Good morning and a very warm welcome to Newsline, live from the Newsfirst studios in Dawson Street in Colombo. And on this wonderful morning, we are joined by the veteran politician and the General Secretary of the Communist Party of Sri Lanka, Mr. Dew Gunasekara. And Mr. Dew Gunasekara, as we will always remember, was the former chairman of COPE, the Committee on Public Enterprise, the parliamentary watchdog, our voice in Parliament. Mr. Gunasekara, very good morning and thank you for being on Newsline. Mr. Gunasekara, have you been watching the COPE proceedings, the current proceedings? What do you think of it?
Proceedings are not because no one is allowed to go there.
But are you following it?
I following at what appeared in the press, and also I had the opportunity to have a glance at the last report.
Right. And what do you think?
Scandalous.
Scandalous. Now, I want to ask you this. When you were the chairman of COPE in the previous parliament, you had your report. Was it a full report or was it an interim report?
We were preparing a report, final report, but in the meantime, there was questions were raised in Parliament by various members, both in government and opposition, asking for immediate. I took about 1 month.
Right.
It was a very tough job, and the speaker.
Yeah.
There's it's not. It was the initiative was not on my part.
Right.
The difference is that now it was because the decision of the Parliament to entrust that job to the COPE chairman.
Right.
And the speaker accordingly decided.
Right.
So under normal circumstances, things are referred to by the Auditor General. That is the way procedure.
I see.
The constitutional provisions.
But in this case,
the special direction by the Parliament and the speaker.
Why was that? Do you think that was because it was reflective of a widespread public concern?
Concern that side.
Right.
It was raised by the opposition, then Prime Minister agreed to have it inquired into. Then, of course, he appointed 3 members, lawyers.
The 3 members, the very famous committee.
Yeah. And after that, they said this has to be gone into further.
Yes.
They have no mandate.
That's right, because their terms of reference are rather limited. Yeah.
So that is why when it was raised again in Parliament, then he agreed to refer to accordingly and the speaker took upon him that responsibility by himself and ordered that this COPE chairman should he requested me to have a subcommittee of the entire report. So the subcommittee I did not nominate, I got it elected.
Right.
The committee
from the committee.
From the committee itself.
Right. I see. Mr. Gunasekara, retrospect is a wonderful thing because it's after the event. But in retrospect, why do you think the Prime Minister dilly-dallied so much on that first bond issue? Why wasn't it fast-tracked? Surely it was the people's concern, which is, as you just said, that's why this thing started anyway. The people's concern was present, as evidenced by Parliament telling you to handle this thing. And yet, and there was a lot of money at stake, and yet it seemed to be that the whole issue was soft-pedaled. Why?
That is the real question. that has to be probed into as to why. What motivated him.
Yeah.
So, maybe I may be incorrect. I don't know. Arjuna Mahendran's father is a close friend of the Prime Minister.
Yeah.
Sort of a family friend.
Yeah.
I know Charlie.
Yeah.
Maybe that because of relationship and all that, I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe that the talk in the town was that, Is it not the famous historic meeting?
Yeah.
That is another clue. We could not.
Yes, yes. We must begin at the beginning because there was this historic meeting, and
immediately after the new government, new cabinet was sworn in.
This historic meeting has nothing to do with choosing who the governor is or anything like that. This was a meeting this was this was the beginning. This is where the River Nile starts, which is a meeting held at the Ministry of Finance, in which
Trio.
yes, there was the trio was Kabir Hashim, Ravi Karunayaka, Malik Samaravikrama, and actually at that time Malik Samaravikrama was not even an MP. He was the chairman of the United National Party, and he was present when ministers were discussing financial matters, or financial matters of state, no less.
And really that historic meeting, really what concerned me most was...
Oh, in your report, I see.
No, in the report I didn't.
No.
I mean, I concerned me, I mean, from outside.
Yeah.
Because normally even the ministers don't go to central bank.
Right.
From experience that I have, both as a public servant earlier and as a minister and as a member of parliament, both opposition and government, as a minister for 10 years. Normally even the president go for that on occasion.
Right.
Say you are addressing a seminar, the ministers.
Mr. Kunsekar, you know, I asked you why do you think the Prime Minister was so aloof from public concern on the first day. Isn't it a distinct possibility that the Prime Minister was merely wanting more time because there was a second bond deal coming along, and it did happen. The second deal happened in March 2016. It was for double, and this transaction.
One year later.
It was a year later. So they collected. There was a substantial amount of money, obviously, made on that first bond deal, and so too the second. But why all these? It's all being done under the very noses of the people of the Republic, the very people who elected these people. Doesn't it make you mad?
I think, you know, the starting point is that the change of the methodology.
The methodology in this.
Yes.
But if I may say so, I'm a layman when it comes to this.
No,
but it was
because that is the decision that should have been taken by the Monetary Board.
Yes.
The Monetary Board is only entitled, not even governor.
That's
Monetary Board give a direction to the public management department as to what the methodology should be.
Yeah.
But here, the instructions come from the Prime Minister. I mean, this is what Arjuna.
That's what he says.
He told outside,
That's
even
right.
press conferences.
That's right.
I was instructed by my minister.
Yeah. Well, you know, the thing is that we talk about in various matters that there's no locus standi. In this matter, it is my view and my opinion that the Prime Minister had no locus standi in instructing his governor to change the methodology. It is not his. This is not his. You know, his personal fortune. This is the.
It's unprecedented. No
absolutely.
minister in charge.
I think in some other country he would have gone home by now.
Yeah.
So what are the possibilities now? What can cope when they're looking into this matter and they find and they listen to all these central bankers who were obviously frightened at one point, but they're not frightened anymore. But in your committee, did you find that they were sort of frightened?
No, not at all. Quite free.
So when you appear in COPE, it is like you've got all the freedom to speak and be open.
Yes.
Do you think Mr. Mahendran was being truthful when he spoke to your committee?
Yeah, he was summoned. The last witness that we summoned.
What did he say? Did he maintain his innocence?
No, he continued to maintain his innocence.
Right. But was it more a matter of criminality
because
or...
really question of the facts are there.
Right.
He said, data.
Right.
There's documentary evidence.
So you couldn't argue with
There's
the facts.
No arguments are necessary.
Yeah, I
There
see.
is documentary evidence.
Right.
And really the original, present original was merely, and he was complete outside.
Yeah.
During my time, he was acting auditor, young person over there, he was handling. Then the new person was brought from outside.
Yeah.
So he had no knowledge of the whole previous incident. But independently he came to...
But he, isn't it, I don't know quite how to describe this sort of I don't care attitude. When the public was so concerned and when Sri Lanka was so very traumatized, they continued this charade, this game, this act, this lie for a good 15 months. They put this country through a wholly unnecessary trauma.
Ordinary villager for the first time came to know the importance of the central bank.
Exactly.
And cope is, for that matter.
Yes.
Today, I mean, every household word, the cope.
I had a person who was from the fishing community in Hikadu, from the farming community in Batiklo, who told me that there's something going on at the central bank. Mahabankwe horakamak yanoalu. I mean, they may not have known what this bond is or so on, but they knew.
So I've known more as chairman of the COP than a minister.
Indeed, there you are. because of this. So, but those are the lighter things. But in all seriousness, how on earth can we have this country being led when the managing director, in effect, the Prime Minister, is so distant? He doesn't seem to care.
Yeah. Not only on this issue, other issues as well.
I see. But here we have a black and white case.
In addition to this bond issue, there are so many other issues which have contributed to the present and past the situation in the country.
Yes.
I mean, this governor should be governor of the central bank, former governor should be responsible. If you go through that report,
Mr. Gunasekara, I am so troubled. It is these people, Mr. Mahendra and Mr. Wickramasinghe, don't seem to care. They are lording it around town as though they've done no wrong. What was it more? Was it a question of criminality, or was it a question of a failure of professional duty? As such a so-called, now I have to say so-called, stellar banker with this vast career before him and his expertise, and which is why apparently he was brought in. With all that, he failed miserably at the central bank because he didn't care. And it was, as now events, as you say, you've got documentary evidence, facts, it was his son-in-law who benefited the most. Was he paying a dowry?
It's more than professional rectitude.
Professional rectitude. That's a wonderful word. Look it up. Look up what rectitude means. You'll find that all those things that we had expected of the governor, he failed. This is our expectations. They're legitimate expectations. Is it too much to expect?
The integrity is the hallmark of the central bank.
That's right, John Exter.
Yeah.
Yes. John Exter said that. What do you think will happen now? Is there any way we can, the people of the country can seek
now,
solace?
Of course, the COP has started the inquiry proper now.
Yeah.
Now they will have to go through and then re-summon these people. They would have easily done. They would have gone. They could have decided to use my report.
Indeed,
if necessary.
That would have been the easiest and the quickest.
The report is not the report. Not my report.
Yeah.
The evidence.
The evidence. Yeah.
The 479-page evidence and taken on oath, touching the Bible, saying so is nothing but truth. so that is the. But anyway, if I have no grouse. The COP decided to go in again, but again they will have to go by the same documentary evidence.
A complete waste of time.
Same thing, not something else.
Well, to hear the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, you need to be tuned in to one of our channels, like Newsline. We'll be back after this short break. Welcome back to Newsline, where we have as our guest this morning Mr. Dew Gunasekara, the former chairman of COPE, the parliamentary watchdog on public enterprise. Mr. Gunasekara, do you think that you can give us a copy of your report?
No, I don't have only the.
Oh, you can't give me that? Oh, I thought.
No, normally, I belong to that, not to the present political culture.
Oh, I see.
I
You're
belong
from
to
old school.
I belong old school, where Dr. N. Emperor, Peter German, that political culture. So, I bite. I mean, I uphold the respect and the integrity of the parliament. I mean, according to the standing orders, until this present to parliament, it's confidential.
Right.
So, even though I am out of it, because now, for instance, I was working in the inner department.
Right.
I had taken oath not to reveal anything. Right.
Oh, really?
Still, I have not revealed anything what I know. One day, of course, in Parliament, I have been a member of the opposition. I had to threaten the Speaker at that time that I'll break this oath of secrecy and come out what I know, then you will not be here in the seat. After that, he started treatment.
He behaved himself.
Speaker, one of the old speakers, he's no longer
with us.
with us.
Well, I want to ask you this question. Why did you and people such as you, upright, outstanding people, why did you all back the former regime? Why that regime has done far more corruption than this matter.
Of course, that's we were part of the. We had coalition. I mean, coalition partner of the coalition government. From Mrs. Bandaranaike's time.
Right.
And then then we withdrew from the coalition in 1977.
Yeah.
Right. And after that, completely routed. And after that, it took us 17 years to come back. And after we came back under Chandrika Kumartunga's leadership, then again the left of political parties, mainly the LSP, and now we came back to a coalition process. So that continued, although the president changed, the coalition continued to operate. That is right, and we continue to work. So we came an agreed program, no doubt. In the agreed program, I was fighting for the, say, Tamil minorities, national minorities problems within the cabinet. I had a big fight with the former president. And I didn't allow when the 13th amendment, the amendment of that amendment came.
Right.
And all.
But he got away with so many things.
No. I had big trouble. And he said he withdrew it.
Yeah.
I withdrew it. But certain other things, of course.
But if you were in the government now, would you have backed this whole bond issue, and would you have been on the other side, saying this?
No, even if I have in the government, no, I have. When I was a chairman, I can say now. I was chairman of the COPE from 2010 to 2015, beginning, or nearly 4.5 years.
So I know, in your 4.5 years, you looked at more than what they'd done in the last 29 years.
Yeah, I submitted 6 reports.
Yeah,
and for the previous 31 years.
But however, you are a man of the people, right?
Yes, that's right. I submitted a report.
So it is the people's concern. Surely the people's concern overrides everything else.
Yeah.
And in that context, without having to resort to the Bible and so on, would you not consider releasing that report? Break all whatever you want to break, but come out and say, here's the report, because my conscience, your conscience, is taking precedence over everything else, and the people. You're releasing it to the people.
No, I don't know whether it's amounts to a contempt of parliament.
What can they do? Can they lock you up?
That's right, David. But I only uphold in the integrity of the parliament, nothing more than that. That's right, but what you say is there is some sense in what you say. So it's people's cause, and that should be, people should come to know about it.
But Mr. Gunsay, we have been bombed, we have been attacked, we have been burnt, we have been just told off, we have been called traitors, we have been called every blessed thing under the sun. And we are here because we are striving and fighting every day, even now, to be independent.
I am sure that, that is it's not the report, it's a evidence. That book contains evidence.
Yeah.
I am sure now if the present court started inquiring, summoning the witnesses, the same evidence will come. So that nothing. Same evidence will come.
Do you remember? Do you remember a chap from South Africa?
Yeah.
It's called Nelson Mandela.
Mandela, yeah. To whom I have the greatest regard.
Yes, he was in prison for 27 years because he believed in something.
Yeah.
Now, if you believe in all this, are you going to do a Mandela and release this report? You can do it. You can come here and you can do it. You can do it live. You can release it, and the members of the public who are interested can have copies and so on. But please consider, in the interest of the people, because it is the people.
I shall consider.
You must consider. You must deliver it. You've got my number. You've got the number of our organization. Give us a call, and so on. Now then, I want to ask you a bit wider. What will happen? Will this matters change the governor of the central bank? We've got by all accounts, an upright and outstanding person who is reflective of our expectations of the governorship and so on. But longer term, what will happen? Do you think, where will this balance of power end up? What's your analysis?
I mean, regarding the government?
Yes.
The overall government?
Yeah.
I mean, it is a very complicated situation. The one main thing is that, unlike the previous regime, the parliament cannot be dissolved.
Yeah.
After the 19th Amendment.
Who should be the Prime Minister?
All right.
Who should be the Prime Minister?
The Prime Minister is there now at the moment.
Yes, but I'm talking of if it's going to change. Who's going to be?
That's not only change. No, I don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
But as it is, it can be dissolved.
Right.
So whatever the change should take place within the parliament.
Within the system.
Right.
Isn't that
new alignment?
Yeah.
It's possible.
Yeah.
It's possible.
Okay.
I don't know. The recent last week certain outbursts are there.
Yeah.
Regarding on the foreign policy matters. I think.
Yeah.
I think good have
That's
observed
right.
it.
Yes.
That is a fantastic.
Well, we have one side that is very consistent and says the same thing all the time.
Okay.
And the other side is humming, hawing, up, down,
So,
sideways.
in the meantime, the various deals might go through sometimes for realignment of forces, rebalance.
Right. So, in this realignment, who do you think should be the Prime Minister?
Really impossible. How we can't just set them out. How do you know? Impossible. The present, taking the situation, present political culture into account, we don't know whether the UNP fellows will join the SLF, the SLF will join the UNP. We don't know. I know a lot of frustration on the UNP ranks. Equally.
Isn't it...
completely.
Is it frustrating?
Some startling situation might emerge. We don't know.
We don't know.
Yeah.
What are the...
And it all depends on the crisis. We are in a serious crisis.
Right.
I know the government, my main thing is, one day I told President, and I met him, we must tell the people the truth. Exactly. This is what Vladimir Lenin has said.
Yeah.
Never conceal anything to the people, from the people. Tell the truth. Then people would appreciate, understand. We are in a, government is in a bad way. They try to, here, Ravi Karnaik, the Minister of Finance, he said, I have plenty of money, nothing to worry, don't worry, money. But here, deep crisis, unprecedented, triple crisis.
Yeah.
Revenue crisis, exchange crisis, debt crisis.
Mr. Secretary, very quickly, because we've only got a few more, man. Do you want the former people to come back?
Who?
The previous government. Do you want them to come back?
They can't come, no?
They can't come.
They can't come.
But in your ideal world, would you like them to come back?
It may be a new change. Change should play.
There should be change.
Change.
Right. I see. Okay, I didn't expect you to say that.
Why not? My personal advice. I am the only person who told President Mahinda Rajapaksa not to contest.
Right.
You are going to lose. I am the only person who advised, and it's well known. It was. I gave facts and figures that he can't win, and all the party leaders were there, including Maithripala. There. This happened in 2014.
I'll tell you what a lot of people are asking. Three-wheel drive, the security people, they're asking, will anything actually happen? We have the former first son, Nama Rajapaksa, in remand. We've had his uncle in remand. We've had Sajin Rasgunawardena in, out. Will something actually happen? Or is this merely politics? Is the Prime Minister and his team and the Minister of Law and Order, Sagala Ratnaik and so on, are they merely winding it up?
I'm not convinced something will happen.
You're not convinced. I think you are reflective of public opinion again, because that's what the feeling is down there. If we go down on Dawson Street now and we start talking to 10 people who are passing by, we may get the same answer that you are. What does that say about our system, though? What does it say about?
That is for a deal.
It's a deal. That's what they're doing. So all these is in pursuit of a deal. It makes a wonderful title for a book, In Pursuit of a Deal. Will you be the author of that book?
I think I'm also now trying to write something about my memoirs.
Any plans on coming back to Parliament?
No.
No, you done?
No, yeah. In fact, last time I told previous time I told you.
Why can't you come as the Prime Minister, the next Prime Minister? You were the former
I am
chairman.
from the microscope minority.
Which is why you should be from the which is why
that political culture is
not here.
available.
How many years away are we from that culture?
That's I can't see. We are going from bad to worse.
Bad to worse. Well, Mr. Gunasekara, thank you very much. I was going to ask you a very quick question, but I think I'm running out of time. But I'll try and ask you. How come Wima Weerawansa's caught having 2 passports? What's happening?
Again a deal, maybe.
The deal. Where is the deal of the century? Was it at the central bank? That's the question that we need to find out. And we will hopefully find out.
It's a smaller thing that can go for a deal.
Yes.
Or a bigger one, of course, you can imagine.
We can imagine. Mr. Dev Gunasekara, we are absolutely privileged for having you on our program. Thank you very much.
No.
Excellent.
Thank you
and do come on Patikeda next week. Thank you for watching Newsline. Have a great day, take care, and God bless.
Newsfirst Newsline with Faraz Shaukat Ali.